Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are doing a card that involves 0 stamping. So if you don't have a whole lot of stamps or you just are starting out, maybe you don't even enjoy stamping, this is a good card for you. So I have here a just regular A2 size card base, and I have 4 pieces of just plain white, cheap, inexpensive cardstock, and I'm going to use this Momenta A2 size matte leaf die. And what I love about this is that it is all one piece. So it's not like each of those like vines are a separate piece that I'm going to have to figure out how to glue to where they fit on the card. They're all connected, which I really, really like. I have 2 different colors or finishes of foil today. I have kind of a champagne and then a coppery color, because we are going to be doing some foiling for our sentiment. I have 2 pieces of Hammermill cardstock. That is what I have found works the best for foiling. And then we, for our sentiment, are going to be using the Spellbinders Glimmer Essentials Foil sentiments. Sorry. So it has several sentiments in here and a variety of fonts and a good amount of sizes. If you are looking for just kind of a good small budget-friendly beginner set, that is a good one. It has, your basics, happy birthday, just thinking of you, thank you, love you kind of things. So it's really good. So the first thing I did was I went through and I die cut out all of these vines. It die cut really well. I thought I would have to use a shim just because it does seem pretty detailed. I didn't have to. I did run this back and forth 3 or 4 times on each of these pieces of cardstock just to make sure that I got a really good cut. So I'm just going to weed out all these parts I don't need, and that is what it looks like. So I have these all weeded out, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply little dabs of glue to the back of each of these. I got smart eventually and switched to a spray adhesive just because it took an inordinate amount of time to apply little dots of glue to each of these little leaves. And so I eventually switched to a spray adhesive. I did use my fingertips just to help me kind of line those up. I purchased my Elmers multi-purpose spray adhesive from Hobby Lobby forevers ago. A little bit goes a long way. And then I snacked all of those together, and now I have almost like a chipboard embellishment. So I'm going to set my die cutting platform on top of that just so it can dry and I can get some good adhesion. And we're going to move on to the foiling. So like I said, this is a really good, basic beginner set that gives you a lot of variety, a good variety of sizes, and of course sentiments. So this is the Essential Glimmer Sentiments set from Spellbinders. And I'm just trying to kind of plan out how to place these all on here, just to make sure that they fit. I know that in the past when I die cut or try to die cut these into a banner shape, I've put them way too close together, and so I have to do some fancy finagling in order to get it to work. I wasn't sure which one of these colors I wanted to use, and so I will foil these each with both of those. So while my glimmer system is heating up off camera, I went ahead and sprayed more of that adhesive on the back of these leaves, and I'm going to adhere this to the card base. This is going to give us a lot of dimension, a lot of interest. This card is actually probably going to go to the, commissioner, the person that helps like maintain our road. We live in off a very backwoods road, and so he does a very good job of maintaining our road. So as you can see, this foiled poorly. I mean, it looks like trash. I thought when I picked it off of the glimmer system, it was going to be beautiful because it had like this almost like debossed impression to it. And I was really excited. And then I peeled it off and I was like, this looks like trash. Like I can't do anything with this except use this as scrap cardstock for some other purpose. And I was like, well, maybe it was just the foil. And then I did the same thing again, and it did the same thing again. I'm pretty sure they call that the definition of like being crazy, doing the same thing again and again and expecting it to get a different result. This one foiled slightly better, but it still looks like trash. And I was like, man, what am I doing wrong here? And it occurred to me that I wasn't doing my sandwich right. So I went back and did my sandwich right with the copper foil, and I noticed, okay, there's no like debossing, but looky there, haha, it foiled right. So this goes to show when I haven't played with something in a while, there's always a little bit of a learning curve to get it back to where I needed to. So I figured out the sandwich, and miracle of miracles, it foiled right. So I just had a little bit of overfoiling. This was going to be a thank you card, and I had just a little bit of overfoiling on that thank you sentiment. So I took my mono sand eraser and just lightly scrubbed over that surface to remove some of that. I have my, this is actually a Simon's Essential Sentiment Strips die. I ended up using these ones back here that have stitching detail and make them into a banner shape. I thought that fit that a little better. And so I do end up taking my mini Sizzix Sidekick and cutting that out using that smaller banner. This one was too small, so I went with the other one. So this is the actual larger of the ones in that particular banner set. So I'm going to snip this apart from the rest of these. The rest of these I will just put in the back of the stamp or of the foil packaging so that I can use them for a different occasion sometime. So I'm just going to tape this in place and run it through that little die cut machine, and we will move on. When I placed my tape on there, I did make sure that my tape did not touch my foil at all because it will remove some of the sheen. When I die cut this, I missed just the very corner of this die on the right hand side where my index finger is. And so I'm just going to shift that off to the side and then glue this straight down onto those leafy backgrounds and then just snip off that overhangs. So you're going to see when I place this down, I'm going to let it overhang the card base a little bit. I'm just going to take a long pair of scissors and snip that off. To finish this card off, I felt like it just needed something. So kind of randomly, I used some pearls from Blingy Thingy off of Etsy, and I just placed those randomly where I felt like there was a space for them. I tried to kind of mix up the sizes so that there weren't all one size, and then that completes today's card. Like I said, this is going probably to a man, and so I didn't want to do too many things, but this is a no stamping card today. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you feel inspired, and until then, we will see you next time. Bye.